Today I'm going to be talking about hunger, which I believe is not talked about enough. And frankly, it gets confused with a bunch of different things. So the first thing I'm going to give you guys, I hope you understand this because it's so true. Life will be given to those who are hungry. See, there's always going to be a place reserved for those who put in the work. Right? There's always going to be that space where that extra work that they put in will separate them from the rest. Right, let me give you a metaphor. You know, as kids, I had a bigger family and we ate a lot, and at the dinner table, whoever was the hungriest usually got the most food. And usually the hungriest ate the quickest. Right? So in life, it's the same way. Those who are hungry are going to become the most full. But unfortunately, in life, too many times we become complacent, we become comfortable, we become just okay with where we're at. Right? We almost become stagnant to where we lose all sight and motivation for more. Instead of understanding that we have no limits. Like the only limits we have is the limits that we put on ourselves. We're the only limiting factor. But we have to understand this in order to keep pushing forward, because a lot of us get stuck in that place of like, maybe that's just not for me. Right? And I'm not talking about a career or whatever. I'm talking about that vision, that dream that you had. Like, the Creator gave it to you. Right? Don't sacrifice that in order to stay where you're at. That would never work. It would be too hard. It would, whatever excuse, whatever you come up with to make reason in your mind to not achieve it or not to go after it even. Right? So we have to keep this hunger. This hunger is like motivation. It's that drive. It's that passion that keeps you pushing forward even when it hurts, even when you don't want to. You see, life is, like I said, life is given to those who are hungry. Right? Life doesn't give handouts. Life is hard. Life requires work. Right? And so if we get stuck in that place of being comfortable and being okay with being okay, then we're going to miss out on a whole lot. So I want you to understand, from the point I just made, you have no limits except the limits you put on yourself. And with that being said, don't let the limitations of others be put on you. Sit there and think about that. Right? So I'm going to give you a quote here that is very, very good. That's why I wrote it down. A warrior's destiny must be bigger than the wounds he may face. I'm going to read it again. A warrior's destiny must be bigger than the wounds he may face. You're probably like, what does that even mean? Your calling, your dream, your vision must be stronger than the sacrifice you may have to give. Right? You see, life requires sacrifice. Step point 2, requires sacrifice. And those who sacrifice much will gain much. It's the whole thing of if you sow what you sow, you will reap. Right? There's a sacrifice to greatness that not many tap into. Not many give up some things. We have this in the United States or in the world. We've been very blessed, especially in the United States, with things that we get comfortable, right? I'm okay, but we were never meant to just be okay. We were meant to live abundantly. We were meant to have generational wealth. We were meant to have all of that with no limitations. But somewhere along the lines, we got confused and thought that maybe just because someone else was worse off, that this is as high as we can go. Instead of understanding that I was meant for abundance, and in my abundance I can help others even more. Right? You see, it's selfish to think small. I hope that challenges you right there. It's selfish to think small. Because then you're only thinking about yourself. You're only thinking about, well, I can't do it. It's too hard. That's selfish because it's only you. Right? That may challenge you to think in a different way about success or about going after it in a different tenacity or a different drive or different hunger than before. Right? So with that being said, you have to understand that success is a bloody business, man. It requires so much sacrifice, so much time, giving up some things in order to achieve it. And you may not even see it for a couple years, a decade maybe even. But it's worth it in the end. Right? So the reason I bring up hunger is because it's so important, because that's what pushes you when things get tough. That's what pushes you when you don't want to keep going anymore, when you don't want to wake up early anymore, when you don't want to stay up late and finish some things that need to get done, when you don't want to stop watching TV, when you don't want to stop hanging out with friends. Like, hunger is that thing that pushes you past some of those feelings, some of those desires even that you have. But it's what's required. It's what's required in order to take that next step into that place that you only dreamed about. Now it's time to make it a reality. All right, so keep working. Keep going for it. And don't give up. Much love, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this little series here. And please leave a comment below. Like I said, I hope it helped. And please give some feedback in the comments below. Thanks.